This week we'll be reading The Label, a love and gospel music novel by yours truly, Mr. Timothy Blaine. Head on over to Amazon.com where you guys can get your copy of the book or download it on your Kindle. Ow! Yes, y'all. We over here reading. Catch me down at youtube.com/AlmondBrown09 over on Instagram and also on Twitch. Come on, y'all. We about to read The Label. Are you ready? I mean, tell me you ain't jigging when you hear that song. Come on, okay? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your girl Almond Brown 09, and we are back down here at the corner, honey, for another read of The Label by Mr. Timothy Blaine, honey. How is your Monday? How is your Monday? How has your Friday been for those of you that are done with your weekend work? You know, and then you're gonna be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful Monday thus far. I've had a great Monday. You know, I can't complain. The weather is perfect here in good old Florida, honey. Somewhere over the rainbow. That's what we are over here in Florida. But yeah, we're gonna continue our read. We were here, we were here last week, and we started reading The Label. Mr. Timothy Blaine. This is the last installment of his love and gospel music novel series or whatnot, novel. And so yeah, we were at chapter 1. Now we're on chapter 2 because baby, these chapters are very long. So we will only be doing chapter 2 tonight. It is over 30 pages. So we're going to get through it and we're going to get through it together. If you have gotten down here for the first time and you have not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. If you can share the video out to any and everybody that you can share it out to. Come on, tell them we over here reading. So I'm going to reiterate what happened last week in the book. So we know we have 3 teenagers, Trevor, Jackie, and Corey. They all want to be in the music industry. They get an offer. They're in Atlanta. They get an offer from the Stratton Records over in LA. And we know that Stratton Records was throughout all of the books that I've read. If you have not read any of the books that were before this one, they're all in the playlist, honey. The Love and Gospel Music, The Epiphany, Muse, and then this is The Label. So yeah. But yeah, so they're going to get flown over there, or they get flown over there to learn that they are going to be recording, but back in Atlanta. And Corey's mom, Miss Moody, honey, she is like their manager. But child, she got a secret agenda. So she says she don't care if she got to kill somebody, okay, for her son to get this record deal. She don't care if them other 2 boys get left behind, but she's going to make sure that Corey gets this record deal, okay? So we know that they think that the Stratton Records label, the building itself is haunted, so to speak, or whatnot. So we started there. Well, we ended there. So we're going to start in chapter 2. Girl, yo, listen. Miss Moody, Miss Dorothy Moody, and the daddy is a reverend. Okay, he's a reverend. And so what she said, she gonna, by any means necessary, she gonna make sure that her son gets to where he got to go. Despite anything else, anybody else, if she got to step on next, baby, and she don't care because they're teenagers, she gonna get her son there. So we are in chapter 2. They've already taken back. Oh, thank you so much, sister. But we're going to take it back. They're going to go back to Atlanta now. And so we're going to pick up from there. Chapter 2, back in Atlanta. No way, no way, yelled Karen. Mama, you can't let them do this. I know, baby, said Karen's mother, affectionately known as Big Mama. Trust me, it's not something I want either. Scratch won't back down. Says he needs both groups to sell enough tickets. But Mama, Big Mama Ruth acted as not only her 3 daughters' road manager, agent, and sometimes organist. She, along with her husband, had recently taken on a much much greater responsibility for the sake of the group. Though her daughters had been born into poverty, she was determined that they not live their lives that way. Not if it could be helped. Music was the family's way out. Okay, I'll call him again, she said. But we do have a contract, Karen, and it's only a couple duets, baby. This is what happens when you lie, yelled Karen. We should just tell him and get it over with. Next, he'll have us touring with them. Baby, are you sure the boy doesn't know? You know how people talk, Karen. Maybe he. Nobody outside of this family knows, Mama. And I'm sure not talking about telling Trevor Ross. But maybe if Mr. Wilson knew the situation, he'd understand and stop pushing the issue. No, if we're not telling the boy's father, said Big Mama, we're sure as hell not telling Scratch Wilson or anybody else. The decision was made and agreed to. Now we're not discussing this again, Karen. Do you understand me? Pause. Disclaimer. It might be some cussing in here somewhere. I don't know if they're gonna be hunching, but it's gonna be something in this book that'll be a little explicit. Go along with it. Okay. I understand. And thank you for this, Mama. I'm so sorry for putting you in this position. I'm just sorry about everything. We're a family, baby, said Big Mama. We all have to do what's best for this family, Karen. Now, go on down and pick up them pampers. Hurry back, baby. You've got to pump before rehearsals. I'll call the studio, see what can be done. I guess I really don't have much of a problem with doing the show, said Karen. I just don't want to have to sing with Trevor Ross. I don't want to rehearse, perform. I cringe when I see him, Mama. You can understand that, can't you? Get me 3 pounds of string beans and a big bottle of that super hot sauce while you're there, Karen. All right, it's time to cut the bullshit, said Scratch. He and Trevor were sitting in a tiny office at Benton Studios. What's up with you and Karen? You told me back in LA that this was not going to be a problem, man. Don't ask me, said Trevor. She won't even look at me. Damn. So we dated a few times back in high school. I don't know what her problem is. She acts like I'm the devil. Both of your projects are dropping on the day of the concert, brother. That means we need to get those songs done and added to both albums ASAP. I know it's short notice, but it can be done. That is, if I can get you two to start acting like professionals. We need this gig to pop like an explosion, Trevor. Everything is riding on this. I'll be honest, it would be nice to start recouping some of these production costs, man. So it's just for the two new songs, right? No. Look, said Scratch. You're two young groups coming out of the same place at the same time on the same label with the same producer, brother. I'm going to need you guys to do things together. These two new duets are hot, Trev. My partner just got them to me. It's got to be you two. No way I'm letting anybody else near them. This is just the hook we need, brother. If these two songs have the power that 20 years in the business tells me they do, dude, we're talking 2 nominations for Best Newcomers, maybe even the big prize. I guess that means I have to try to talk to her. Be a player. Send her flowers, perfume, something. We need both of you rehearsing, then recording these new cuts ASAP, brother. I'm telling you, my boy, hit the mother load with these two. So, who's this writing partner you keep bringing up? Carson, said Scratch. You'll be meeting him. He's flying in for the concert. Carson's not just my writing partner, Trev. We got married last year. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool, stammered Trevor. He'd heard the rumors about Stratton Records. He knew there were a lot of gay people, both out front and behind the scenes. But Scratch, they'd been working together for just short of a year. He had not a clue. Dorothy Moody was in a cleaning mood. It had been such a busy year, what with working with the boys in the studio, maintaining her job with Old Glory Baptist, and working with her private tutor students. She was far behind in her housework. With both of her tutoring students sick with the flu, she found herself with a full Saturday off. It was high time for a deep cleaning at the condo. She rarely went into Corey's room when he wasn't there. He was a good boy who worked hard, kept his room spotless, and stayed out of trouble. But when she had called in a carpet cleaning company on a whim, they had offered her a deal. Instead of the usual 3 rooms, they threw in her 2 bedrooms for free. Of course, all the furniture had to be moved, including Corey's headboard. Mm. When Corey came in from a long day in the studio, Dorothy was sitting in the darkened living room in a well worn recliner turned to face the front door. In her lap sat the framed picture. 3 pictures of Corey and Jackie Murphy shirtless on a beach and several letters. Mama, you scared me, said Corey, startled as he flicked on the light. No, it's you that's scaring me, Corey. What? What are you? He recognized the frame. What were you doing in my room? My house, my damn rooms, she said. You have no right going through my things, he said, snatching the letters from her lap. The framed picture fell to the floor, breaking its glass. I can't believe you. With Jackie, of all people, she yelled. Murphy's going to shit a brick. Really? Now, why would he be doing that, Mama? Don't get slapped, boy. This is my fault. I knew I should have had a man around here. What's that got to do with it? He said. Look at Jackie. He had a full-time father. Mega full-time. Did it make any damn difference? Don't cuss at me, Corey. I mean it. And I take back what I just said. This is not my fault. I did the best I could. I've always been this way. Oh, come on, Mama. You're telling me you didn't know? Okay, so you're telling me you had absolutely no idea I was gay? Really? Silence. Not a single girlfriend in all this time? Lots of boys start late. Come on, Mama. This is ridiculous. Silence. You've been so good to me, Mama, he said, his eyes watering. I always figured when this day came you'd understand. I assumed you knew, Mama. I'm sorry this hurts you. You mean all the times Jackie slept over here? I'm in love with him, Mama. Don't blame Jackie. We fell in love, Mama. Jackie's a good boy, she said. You could have done a whole lot worse. Listen to me. Who else knows about this? Jackie's sister walked in on us about a year ago, he said, right after LA. Who else? You mean who else knows I'm gay? Or about Jackie and me? Damn, if Jackie Murphy gets a whiff of this, he can't, yelled Corey. No way. You know what kind of person he is, Mama. I just can't believe I never picked up on anything from you two, she said. Okay, I'll admit I'm not totally surprised about you, baby. But Jackie Murphy, he's just so masculine. Go on, you can say it. Of course, that means I'm not. I didn't say that, Corey. Well, you know you two are going to have to keep things just the way they are. If Murphy finds out about this, he'll force Jackie to drop out of the group. No telling what that man is capable of. And how would Stratton react? You're kidding, right? He said. You think this is something to kid about, boy? This is a gospel label we're talking about, Corey. He couldn't control a giggle. You're laughing, she said. You want to let me in on a damn joke? Mama, they're gay as well. Not everybody, but what? Scratch Wilson is married to a man, Mama. Dallas and Sky are what? How would you? What the hell are you talking about, boy? Also, the 2 dudes that started the label, Joey White, Joey and Dwayne Brown were lovers, Mama, said Corey. Bullshit, she said. I hope you're not going to be one of those who are always claiming every other person they meet is. Corey whipped out his trusty iPhone, typed the first name into a Google search engine, then turned the screen to face his mother. Trevor Ross was conflicted. On one hand, he was having the time of his life, recording, continuing to do small gigs around Atlanta, and even learning a few moves. Everybody knew what was supposed to come next. Beautiful women, girls, and big-titted grown-ass women. On the other hand, he was singing gospel music. No doubt if the group blew up, like everybody seemed to agree it would, After their first album drop, his new fans would be a bunch of church folk, stuck up little church girls in long, boring dresses, overshadowed by overbearing, Bible thumping, husband hunting mothers, did absolutely nothing for him. Of course, he could and would have his needs met, but it would just be a whole lot easier if he could simply bang his fans. It just wasn't fair. Why work his butt out to gain recognition if he couldn't indulge in the fruits of his labor? Not that he wanted the wild orgies he always imagined went on nonstop with pop and hip hop artists. Trevor loved the ladies all right, but he needed to love them one at a time. As he pulled his Mustang into the lot of Benton Studios, he contemplated Karen Ruth. What was this chick's problem? Scratch was expecting him to patch things up with her, and quick. Only problem was, he didn't have a clue what she was tripping about. All he could remember was that after he banged her a couple times, she copped an attitude and stopped answering his calls. Summer came and went, junior year. Then went to the next semester, started the Ruth sisters had moved. Then when the next semester started, the Ruth sisters had moved away. Maybe he gave her an STD. Lord knows that wouldn't have been his first time. Had they used a condom? He couldn't remember. What he did remember was the hard, cold stares she'd given him in passing. Not only that summer, but why in the hell did she hate him? That's another reason he didn't like kicking it with church chicks. She'd probably heard about all his other ladies. Oh well, whatever her problem was, she had to get over it. Scratch wanted them in the studio and ready to work around the clock until the duets were waxed. He stayed in his car, pulled out his cell, and dialed the number Scratch had given him. Jackie was having a hard time keeping up with his studies. The day of the big concert and CD launch was fast approaching. Thankfully, summer break would coincide perfectly with the launch. It bothered him that so much It bothered him that so much of the group's activities had to be scheduled around his schoolwork. If it wasn't for Corey pushing him to stay in the group and in school, he'd make a decision and drop out of one or the other. Everybody knew that Trevor was the driving force in the group. How hard could it be to find another backup singer? On the other hand, he was a business major with absolutely no interest in business. School was boring. It had been a mistake to tell his father what he knew he wanted to hear. Jack Murphy had all but dictated his son's courses of study. What Jackie wanted more than anything was to be out of Atlanta and his parents' house. Of course, he was of age. If he chose, he could simply drop out and take off with the group. Scratch had voiced his opposition to having any part of interfering with his education. The way he saw it, show business was a lot more about business than show. Sure, the guys would have their season in the spotlight. He could pretty much guarantee that would happen. But what would they do when the spotlight dimmed? Jackie knew the man was right. He'd seen enough music careers come and go. Or worse, he'd seen enough groups, gospel or secular, have a few hits, then end up singing those same old moldy oldies for the rest of their lives. Oh well, being a has-been still sounded a whole lot better than being a never was to him. A lot of people could sing after all. In fact, practically everybody he knew could do a little something something. How many of those cats would get a chance to actually make a record though? Of course, the best part about being in the group was working and hanging out with his favorite person. If Corey Moody was in, then so was he. It had been 3 years now. He could still remember the day Corey and his mom showed up for choir rehearsal at Old Glory Baptist. Pastor Kelly had introduced Miss Moody as the person to replace retiring old Mrs. Blake as the church's music director. Mrs. Blake had been okay, but she was too old to be working with the choirs, especially the youth choir. Pretty close to everybody in the music department was happy to see her finally take her seat among the church mothers. Miss Moody introduced Corey as her son and a new member of the choir in the same breath. Hey, ain't that the new dude in social studies? Whispered Trevor. Yep, that's him, said Jackie. He couldn't take his eyes off him. How lucky could a brother get? He thought. Jackie had been checking out the new kid in school since the day he showed up. Corey Moody was a beautiful boy. Almost too beautiful to be a boy, in fact. He was also gay. It was obvious enough. Jackie knew he couldn't afford to get too friendly with him around school. But now, with the cover of being in the same choir, hey, what's up? Said Jackie, extending his hand. I'm Jackie Murphy. We're in social studies, room 206? Yeah, I remember you, said Corey, touching him for the very first time. Teacher's kind of lame, right? You're sure right about that, said Jackie. She'll give a decent grade if you don't act out, though. This is Trevor. He's in that class, too. Hey, what's up, brother? Said Trevor. I've seen you around. So, how long you been singing? My mama always gets me involved, said Corey. When I was little, it was all about not having to pay a babysitter. But you can sing, right? Asked Jackie. No offense, brother, but we need help. Guess you'll find out in the next few minutes, said Corey. Gotta warn you guys, my mama don't play. Trust me, if I stunk, she'd have no problem leaving me at home. Jackie was both curious and fascinated. As far as he knew, he'd never actually spoken to a gay person. Oh, and there were a couple guys at school, real flamboyant types. But he made it a point to keep his distance. The last thing he wanted was to draw that kind of attention to himself, especially not over those yo-yos. But this new guy, Corey Moody, was a class act. Sure, he'd already heard a few comments around school. People could tell the dude was a little light on his toes, but there was nothing affected about his demeanor. He was all natural. And he was real good looking. That made a difference. Jackie suspected he wasn't the only dude to take notice. Of course, the girls were all over him. They didn't have to hide or worry about how he looked. So, you guys moved into the new condos over on Jackson, right? Asked Jackie. Yeah, said Corey. The parents split up early. It's just my mama and me. Where are you from? Asked Trevor. Columbus, Ohio, said Corey. Hey, I heard you sing solo last Sunday. That's a great voice, man. My mama took notice too. Thanks. Jackie's good too. Plus three, maybe four of the girls. Hope nobody's tripping about me, said Corey. My mama can come off kind of pushy sometimes. Nah, everybody's cool, said Jackie. We knew you guys were coming. Just didn't put two and two together. I mean, we didn't know it was you. 3 days later, 3 days later, two of the school's worst bullies cornered Corey in the boys' restroom at school. They were blocking his way and calling him names. The biggest of the two actually knocked one of his books into the urinal. He spun around just in time to catch Trevor's fist in the throat. You punks got a problem with my cousin? Said Trevor. Hey, Karen, said Trevor after she answered herself. It's Trevor. Trevor Ross. Quick! Dial tone. There was no time for playing games. Scratch wanted them rehearsing together. ASAP. He headed for the nearest florist shop. Wow, who was that? Asked Jeannie Ruth after witnessing the hang up. Telemarketers, said Karen. Stop lying. I saw that look on your face. I can't believe he called here, said Karen. Wrong, said Jenny. That's a cell phone girl. He called you. So which he are we talking about? Sorry ass Trevor Ross. Damn. Now I gotta change my number. How'd he get it? Karen, please tell me you're not. I'm not anything, Jenny, said Karen. I already told Mama I'm not I'm not doing those stupid songs with him. It had to be her, right? Who else? The label, maybe? Said Jenny. I'm sorry, but I just can't see Mama getting in the middle of that mess. My 2 cents, you should just go ahead and do the songs. I hear they're hot. Better than anything on either of the other projects. Then you do them, Jeannie. Change that. None of us are. What's going on? It was May, the youngest of the Root sisters. Trevor Ross called her, she said. Mr. Wilson must have put him up to it, said May. He talked to me. He talked to me too. What? Asked Karen. Who talked to you? Mr. Wilson. I bumped into him in the break room. He asked me if I knew what the problem was between you and Trevor. May, you didn't, asked Karen. No worries. I didn't say anything about baby Caleb, said May. I just told him he should talk to you two. All I knew was that you didn't get along. What else did the man say? Asked Jeannie. He was telling me about those new songs, about how they could be big hits. You know, pretty much the same things he's been saying in rehearsals all week. I told her we should just go ahead and record them. Time's running out. We need to be professionals, said Jeannie. If Scratch thinks it's important, Karen, we should. Right, yelled Karen. Then who in the hell is going to wind up performing and rehearsing? Probably even touring with their asses. I'm telling Scratch to forget this stupid idea of his or we quit. Girl, how you just gonna mess this up for everybody, include Mama and the baby? Yelled Jeannie. You're the one that caused the problem, sister girl. Didn't nobody tell you to be throwing your legs up for the first boy that smiled at you? And if you really want to know, I think it's a damn shame you got Mama out here lying and claiming your mistake. Karen grabbed a fistful of her sister's hair. May tried her best to get in between them. She failed. And scene. Baby, that was chapter 2. I think we're going to have time for chapter 3. We'll see. But hold on real quick. Now, don't go nowhere. Drop your chocolate and your sun emojis in the chat real quick. Or your dancing emojis. We'll be right back. Ow! Welcome on in. It's Monday, y'all. And it's time for another read down at the corner. This week we'll be reading The Label, a love and gospel music novel by yours truly, Mr. Timothy Blaine. Head on over to Amazon.com where you guys can get your copy of the book or download it on your Kindle. Ow! Yes, y'all. We over here reading. Catch me down at youtube.com/AlmondBrown09 over on Instagram and also on Twitch. Come on, y'all. We about to read The Label. Are you ready? Baby, I felt like I was down there to the jazz hall, honey. What's somebody granddaddy at? We got to come out here, do a little twirl, honey, a little two-step. So that was chapter 2 of The Label. So we see and find out, baby, Trevor and Karen got a little baby Caleb. That's why she all upset. Honey, got her lips just pursed together, upset at this man, and he don't even know he got a child. That's your fault, girl. Mm-hmm. Chapter 3. Prophecy. 2 years later. Damn it. Oh, hold on. Disclaimer for y'all that may be just coming in. It's going to be some cussing. Y'all know I wouldn't normally cuss, but it's in the book and they might be hunching. I don't know what they're going to be doing here, but it's some adult stuff. Hold on. Let's go. Damn it. Yo, Dallas. There goes the damn power again. Now, let me guess, said Sky Davenport. Scratch and his Atlanta crew are in the house. Don't start, Sky. Fine. Be in denial as long as you want, said Sky. Just don't expect a lot of work to get done around here today. So the ghost is pissed off again? That it? Only happens when they're around. That's all I'm saying, Dallas. What have you got against that group, man? They just charted again, you know. That's 4 top 10 singles and 2 albums, Sky. They're the hottest thing we have going, dude. Why are you yelling, Dallas? Asked Sky. I think it's because you know way down deep there's something to what I've been saying. I don't know shit, said Dallas. And neither do you for that matter. I know every time we try to record them here, something goes wrong, said Sky. If it's not the power, then it's the fire alarm, or the gates won't open, or somebody gets sick, or. And let's not forget what happened with that tech man. I don't know why you keep denying what's only obvious to everyone here. Something's not right, Dallas. Okay, take your choice. Exorcist or Ghostbuster? Fine. Be an asshole if you want. Let's just keep our heads in the sand and hope no one gets hurt. Okay, here we go with the drama, said Dallas. Okay, so we'll send them back to Atlanta. Will that make you happy? No, it won't. We need to figure this out, Dallas. What the hell is happening, man? Okay, so let's track it. 3 years ago, and ticket sales for everybody, including me, had dropped off dramatically. We didn't chart that whole year in case you forgot, my friend. Scratch comes up with an idea to focus on developing Teeny Bopper Group. He actually goes and finds two. And after much haggling and negotiations, we now have one group. As it turns out, both of their albums chart like nothing this company has ever seen. Both recorded in Atlanta, said Sky. Let's not leave out that little detail. Prophecy has the potential of becoming the best selling, most honored group of young people in the industry, Sky. We have to stay relevant, babe. For the moment, that group of kids is doing that for us. Nobody's denying that they're good. Okay, so we just ignore everything. That it? What's to ignore, Sky? Look, babe, you're going way too big. You're making way too big a deal out of what is basically nothing. But if it would make you feel better, we'll get Derek over here. Security, said Sky. I don't think that's the investigator. I don't have to tell you how thorough this man is, said Dallas. You're right. If there's some funny business going on around Stratton, we need to know what and why. So you don't believe it's just me? I seriously doubt it's the boogeyman, Sky. But I won't rule out the possibility that something's going on. Derek will get to the bottom of it. Now go on. Let me finish up. It's Wednesday. Etna's alcoholic pasta. Wrong. You forgot? It's Carson's birthday dinner tonight, said Sky. We're expecting at the restaurant at 7:30 sharp. Damn, you're right. Did we get a gift? The trip, said Sky. Man, obviously you need one. It's going to be great. All three of us back in the city together. Just hope we don't bore Scratch to death. The trip was his idea, man, said Dallas. Yeah, it'll be fun. Nostalgia, here we come. Scratch Wilson sat alone in the mostly darkened main studio of Stratton Records. He'd done his very first recording there back when he was barely 17 years old. Joey and Dwayne had only recently started the label. They'd come across Scratch after the group he was producing tried out for a TV talent show they were about to air. At the very first tryout for the show, neither of the guys were very impressed with his group. Scratch all but begged for a second audition. 2 days later, he came back with the very same group and not only nailed the audition, but struck up a deal with Joey White to record with the record division of the company. His group, John 26, never appeared on the talent show. To do so would have been a conflict of interest. Instead, they went on to record several albums and pick up the company's first Grammy. Joey White and Dwayne Brown became his mentors. Through them, he learned every aspect of the record business. There were many successes to follow. Now he had to think hard and look way back. He couldn't for the life of him remember even a single incident of anything spooky or abnormal going on at Stratton. At least not before the bizarre thing with the portraits 3 years back. That was hella weird and never explained. Now the power goes out for the third time since Prophecy moved to LA. The last time they were in the building, one of the techs wound up with second-degree burns on his hand. No, no matter the opinion of Dallas or any of the other skeptics, something simply was not right at Old Stratton Records. Whatever that something was, his group Prophecy was part of it. Trevor Ross climbed down from a ladder where he had just made the final measurements and markings on the ceiling of his new bedroom in the West Hollywood apartment he was to share with Corey and Jackie. The beveled mirrors for his headboard and ceiling would be arriving first thing in the morning. Of course, he would have much preferred to be having his custom designed freak station installed in his own place, but the money simply wasn't there yet. Stratton owned this property, and at least for the time being, it was going to be one apartment for the guys, and just down the hall, another for the girls. There were definitely drawbacks to the merging of the groups, not the least of which had been splitting the artist's share of the profits 6 ways. The deal was for 3 albums as prophecy, after which all contracts would be renegotiated. He wondered, and not for the first time, if he and his boys had been getting a square deal. What magic had Scratch used to get the Roots to go along with merging the groups? No doubt the audience response to their performances had a hell of a lot to do with it. He and Karen were like fire and gasoline on stage. Their performances were the talk of the gospel music industry. Every concert was a guaranteed sellout. They were bringing rival gangbangers and drug dealers under the same roofs. Altar calls were going on for more than an hour. The trick now, according to the folks at Stratton, was to turn their high church experience into a packed stadium experience. If only they all knew, for Trevor Ross at least, it was all just an act. If he believed in anything, it was in the power of tits and ass. Hurry up, Karen, yelled her sister Jeannie. Can't you use the other bathroom? Yelled Karen. You know I have to rinse this stuff out in a few minutes, girl. May is in there. Do it in the kitchen, Karen. You've been in there over an hour. Damn, you ain't the only woman in this house, you know. After several long minutes, Karen stepped out of the bathroom, still wrapping her freshly permed hair in a towel. This is not going to work, she said, stepping past her half-dressed sister. How are they going to shove all three of us in here with one bathroom and half a powder room? At least we're finally out of Atlanta, said Jeannie, slamming the door behind her. Count your blessings, girl. Mama just called on the house phone. She said to call her back. Not today, said Karen. May, hurry up. I gotta pee, she lied. Karen could hardly believe all of them were actually living in Los Angeles. It seemed like only yesterday she was refusing to do even one song with Trevor Ross. Now they were touring the country and even living in the same building. Mr. Scratch Wilson sure knew how to get what he wanted. She had been perfectly willing to walk away from Stratton, even if it meant walking away from a career in music altogether. That was before Scratch mentioned her baby. It happened just as the two of them were ending a private meeting where he had been making a final plea for her to do that first recording with the boys. You can't, or shouldn't have to do it alone, Karen, he had said as she rose, signaling the end of the meeting. And you know it's not right to leave it all up to your parents. What? What are you talking about? She asked. I'm talking about your baby boy, Karen. Caleb Anthony. He's a beautiful boy. You should be very proud of him. What? Caleb is my little brother. What do you know about my family? And why is my family any of your damn business? Look, all I'm saying is I'm a little desperate here. I see a big opportunity with you guys. If you just untie my hands, Karen. I hope this is not going where I think it is. You're threatening me and or my family? Oh, hell no, he said. I'm no gangster producer girl. I'm just trying to make you a star. I could do that for all 6 of you. I think I can help you out in other ways. That's all I'm saying. I know what you guys are getting paid right now. And yes, I know Trevor is the father. I also know you don't want him to find that out. So you are threatening me. We're talking blackmail? No, we're not. What we're talking about is child support. Not interested, she said. Caleb is a Ruth. Trevor Ross is a, well, I'm sure you know what the issue is. I don't want him around my son. Then let Stratton be the father. Huh? Play ball with me, Karen, he said. Stop fighting me. Allow me to do what I do best. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. But in this envelope is $10,000, he said, stretching out his arm. Go open an account for your boy. Set up direct deposit from this company. Don't worry, we'll take good care of the kid. I don't know what to say, she said, accepting the much needed envelope. Say, yes, Scratch. Let's get this party started. Okay, on the condition it stays between us. Corey Moody was a very happy man. Sure, all the lying was still a royal pain, but at least they were now living together and even sleeping in the same bed. And at least everybody in the group and all the Stratton family knew they were a couple. So, so silly it seemed to have set up a third bedroom and keep most of the things in there. That was all Jackie's idea. He still hadn't told his parents, and there was no indication he ever would. Jackie was unshakably convinced that his father would not only disown him, but also would likely do everything in his power to separate him from his family altogether. So what if he does, Jackie? Corey had yelled in a heated argument 2 nights earlier. The same argument they had been having for several years. You've got family that will stick by you. Damn, you're a grown ass man. Grow some fucking balls. Easy for you to say, said Jackie. Your mom is living upstairs, working with us. Hell, she probably already picked out her outfit for the wedding. And you're saying there's something wrong with that? I'm just not ready, Corey. Maybe I never will be. I don't know. We're just different about that part of it, babe. And no matter what you may think, it's not just about what my father thinks. Well, actually, that's something we can agree on, said Corey. I think you should see a therapist, Jackie. Okay, so now I'm sick in the head because I prefer keeping my private life private. This ain't the 50s, Jackie. Obviously, this is an internal issue. I'm just saying, come on, man. Practically everybody we know knows. Who are you planning on putting your little show on for anyway? Just give me a little time, Corey, said Jackie. Besides, who's using the other bedroom anyway? Okay, but I'm telling you, I'm not doing the Atlanta thing here in LA, Jackie. Closets are for clothes. Trail's treating this place like it's going to be his permanent residence, said Jackie. You see that monstrosity he's having assembled in there? Calls it the player chamber, said Corey. I just hope he's quiet with it. It's bad enough that I have to deal with your snoring. So who do you think's on top? Dallas or Sky? What? Now where the hell did that come from? Come on, baby, said Jackie. You know you're curious. Even the homophobes are at least curious about that part of it anyway. Why does one or the other always have to be on top? Same equipment, right? Come on. I think the white boy is driving that bus. Don't talk like that, Jackie. I mean it. I hate that shit. What? That white boy shit. Sky's a grown man, right? I'm sorry, but that double standard bullshit makes me crazy. If he referred to you as that black boy, you'd be ready to fight the man. Point taken, said Jackie. Okay, so who do you think is daddy in bed? I'm going with the Caucasian, or, excuse me, European American. Well, we both know things are not always as they appear, don't we, Mr. Good Booty? Hey, okay, just forget it. And kill the good booty shit, Corey. Damn, I was just making conversation. Dorothy Moody was starting to get a little nervous. She had been using a little studio in the company's apartment building while its regular occupant was out on tour. However, not a word had been said by anyone at Stratton about her moving to LA permanently. She'd spoken to Scratch several times since they arrived. He hadn't even asked if she was looking for a place. Her name was not in the group's contract, nor did she have her own. When the groups had merged and immediately started touring as Prophecy, Big Mama Ruth had been asked to step down as the new group only needed one road manager. That had all worked out fine. Big Mama had a husband and an infant to look after. She wasn't the least bit interested in going out on the road. Dorothy, however, had left her job as music director at Old Glory Baptist and was currently seeking a tenant for her Atlanta condo. She very much wanted, in fact needed, to tour and manage the group. There would be no prophecy if it wasn't for her. She wasn't about to be swept under a rug like some rank amateur. Dorothy Moody needed an unbreakable contract with the group, if not the group and Stratton Records. For now, she settled for what was rightfully hers, 12% of every dime generated by Prophecy. She picked up her cell and dialed her new attorney. The birthday weekend for Scratch's husband, Mr. Carson Elliott Wilson, promised to be quite an adventure. Though the weekend had been Scratch's idea, both Dallas and his partner Sky were just as excited about the trip up north. Carson had done an excellent job writing for Prophecy. and had contributed to several other Stratton projects over the last couple years. It was high time they all did something special for him. He was their best friend after all. Dallas and Sky had met Carson a little over 13 years back. They'd all been in their early 20s. Carson, a native of San Francisco, had just fallen out with his parents and found himself sleeping in Golden Gate Park when Sky and Dallas came across him. The three of them had become fast friends and had remained so up until the present time. Carson was primarily a novelist, but a few years back, he'd written what was to become Stratton Records' one and only Broadway musical. The stage play had been taken from the first of his six mystery novels. The books also had been the inspiration for an HBO series currently airing. I think Treasure Island is such a waste, said Dallas as the four men sailed past it a third time. I mean, would you look at that land? Imagine the 360 views. Someday, my friend, said Carson. My mom tells me that day might be coming a lot sooner than we might think. Development has been held for years, something about radiation in the soil, but finally there's been some real progress. The city needs that space, man. Hey, maybe the four of us should think about getting a little spot together there someday. That's going to be one hell of a place to invest in. How much would we actually use it, though? Asked Sky. Just look how long it took us to get up here this time. He's right, said Dallas. Look, maybe by the time we're all ready to retire, that island will be ready for us. Okay, so we may as well talk about it, said Scratch. I want to record Prophecy 3 in LA. At the Stratton Studios? Asked Sky. Where else, Sky? We can't keep treating them like unwanted stepkids, said Scratch. This is their season, man. The contract is for one more album. I'm telling you, if we don't start treating these guys with respect, they'll walk. Nobody's walking, said Dallas. That's a powerful thing you put together, brother. Of course we're going to record them at Stratton. I think we should wait, said Sky. Take them out. Do a few more cities. What's the big rush? The contracts are not time sensitive. But we all know the market, Sky, said Scratch. Why are you fighting me on this, man? He thinks the label is haunted, said Dallas with a little chuckle. My poor baby thinks the ghost or ghosts of Stratton Records are rejecting our young friends. What's happened now? Asked Scratch. Nothing's happened, said Dallas. Oh, please tell me you're not down with the boogeyman bullshit too, Scratch. So we lose power every now and then, and some supposedly educated sound engineer lays his hand on a hot cable. I'm sorry, but that sounds a lot more like stupid than supernatural to me. There's more to it than that, Dallas, said Sky, and you know it. Why is it that no one can ever find anything wrong with the building's electricity or the equipment? Prophecy leaves the building, and that's the end of it. And what the hell was that thing with the portraits, man? Now you got to admit, that was some weird shit, Dallas. What? Asked Dallas. Scratch had chosen not to tell Dallas about the incident with the portraits of Brandon Stratton and his partner on the very day the original group entered the building and signed with Stratton a few years back. The last thing he had wanted was to get Dallas all spooked and nervous about going forward with the Atlanta crew. Now he had to wonder, had it been right to keep it from his good friend and boss, the man who had been chosen to run the company? Scott was right. Every time Prophecy was in the house, the whole building went strange. And it wasn't just the little spooky things with the electricity. He could actually feel a shift in the atmosphere. Hmm. At first, he thought it was just him. He long suffered with hypertension. Maybe he'd forgotten to take his medication. But Carson and several Stratton employees had made mention of the chill as well. Dallas's assistant Gloria had described it as feeling something like cool jelly in the air. And Sky was also right about the other part of it. The very moment the door closed behind Prophecy, the air turned normal. He filled Dallas in about the incident with the portraits. And you want them to record here? Said Dallas. Let me get this straight. You, Scratch Wilson, are saying that the first are saying that first you believe some freaky spirit inhabits our little piece of paradise only when a certain group of out of towners is present. And second, that you, the very same Mr. Scratch Wilson, Want to record them there anyway? Is that it? They're the hottest thing we've got going at the moment, said Scratch. They insisted on moving to LA. We promised them that they would if the last album took off. It's in the contract, Dallas. Well, guess what? What are you thinking, Sky? Asked Dallas, picking up on a change in his partner's demeanor. He knew that look. Give me a minute, said Sky. Well, I just hope we can, started Scratch. I've got it, said Sky. We'll do the recording here. I mean there, he said, pointing to the island. On Treasure Island? Said Carson. There's a great studio on that island, man, said Sky. You remember Steven and his guys, Dallas? What are we talking about, Sky? Asked Scratch. We promised LA. They've already moved into the apartments, man. So sell it, Scratch, said Sky. You can work it something like the four of us flew up north to celebrate Carson's birthday. As we sailed past Treasure Island, you had an epiphany. Something like that. Not so far from the truth, said Dallas. They're not going to like it, said Scratch. It's bad enough every time they've shown up ready to record, we come up with an excuse to get them out of the building. Now you want to send them off to an island at the other end of California? Bet they'll like it if Carson and I agree to write the whole album, said Sky. With us writing, you producing, and them on vocals? Dude, how in the hell are they going to pass that up? Damn, you serious? You'd write for us? Asked Scratch. This was big. Sky was the best songwriter at Stratton by a long way. He and Dallas had written and performed the biggest selling gospel CD in the history of the genre. Rarely would he write for anyone other than Dallas himself. Carson had, of, Carson had, of course, written the merged group's first two hits. Talk about a musical dream team. Hey, what about me? Said Dallas. I can't get a little piece of that? A couple songs by the big guy, said Scratch. Yeah, I think we can find a way to fit you in, brother. So this is not just talk. We're serious? I've got a couple of binders full of music, said Sky. A lot more than we need to get started. I'll make a couple of calls. Hopefully those guys are still in business. Just like that, said Carson, we're making an album on Treasure Island. Just like that? Like you guys said, the place is just sitting there, said Sky. It'll be fun. Not to mention getting a certain group of individuals out of LA, said Dallas. While we, well, exactly what are we going to be doing? Exactly what are we going to do about the other little problems, Sky? Not us. Derek is already on it, said Sky. For now, he's researching the history of the building and the land. Maybe the old theater was built on an old cemetery or something. I don't know. Man's got to start somewhere, right? And scene. So, whew, that was chapter 3 of the label. So that was chapter 2 and chapter 3 of the label. Honey, it's a whole lot going on. Let me go ahead and I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up. You guys know that's what we do. If you want to come up and talk about what we just read in chapter 2 and 3, we can do that. If you want to come up, you do not have to show yourself. Just don't show nothing else while you're up here on the screen. But yes, so that was the label, a Love and Gospel Music series, novel, I'm sorry. And yeah, chapter 2 and 3. So we see Trevor has a baby with Karen. Karen has sold her soul to the possible devil for $10,000. And now she recorded with her baby daddy. And he don't even know that he a baby daddy. Okay, he don't even know he a baby daddy. And she's recording with him. And the thing is, and I know it's probably like this with a lot of gospel artists. Like Trevor said, it's all an act. Like he's really singing the song just to sing the lyrics. It's nothing behind him singing. He just has a voice. He want to sing. It ain't no anointing behind it. It ain't no God behind him singing. He just singing. Everybody else don't know, but he knows. So I mean, I can't say it's crazy because I'm sure it's a lot of other people in the music industry, especially in the gospel music industry, outside of the book that does that. But I'm intrigued. I want to see what's going to happen with Karen and Trevor, if he's going to find out about the baby. Miss Dorothy Moody, baby, she might not be in the contracts. I think they're trying to weed her on up out of there, but she's trying to stay close to her son Corey because, like I told y'all before, baby, she is gonna do anything and everything possible to make sure that her son gets this contract, make sure he gets his money, and it keeps going and going and going. She don't care what she got to do, But we still trying to figure out why all the stuff happening at Stratton Records when the boys come there, when they come there to record or when they come to the studio just to do business. Why is all this creepy, freaky stuff happening? We don't know. We don't know. But Miss Dorothy, it's crazy because the mama was there the first time that it happened. She didn't say anything to the boys, and nobody else said anything to anybody else. But now they all of a sudden, everybody knows, but they still want the boys there to record. So we'll see. And then Miss Moody, Dorothy, the manager, Corey's mom, found out about Corey and Jackie being in this relationship with one another. They've been together for 3 years. She was upset about it at first, but now it's just like whatever. Lord, she said, well, I sing because I'm happy. And I sing because I am free. His eye is on the sparrow. All that other good stuff. Hey, Sticks. Hey, everybody that was here. Thank y'all so much for joining me. If you got here and you did not, and you have not listened to what was going on, red ball it back. Okay, replay it. If you didn't hear the first chapter that we read, go back and listen to that as well. Go back to my other video and listen to the first chapter. Come to 2 and 3. Next week on Monday, we will be doing chapter 4, maybe 5. I don't know. We'll see how long it's going to take for us to get through chapter 4. But I'm already digging the book already. You guys, like I always ask you to do, once the video is over with and the live has ended, please hit exit, refresh, and come back and leave a comment. We have a couple of Almond Delights that they know how to follow directions. But I need the rest of y'all to come back and leave a comment up underneath the video to let us know what you thought of the reading. Okay, because we know that the chat takes a long time to generate. So a lot of times people do like to read the chat as the video is going along, but just leave comments underneath the video, and that also helps to put the video out in the algorithm, put my channel out there. But yeah, if you got this far and you have not subscribed, I don't know why. I mean, aren't you enjoying yourself over here? Down at the corner, aren't you enjoying yourself? So yes, make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/almondbrown09. If you are an author and you would like to have your book read here on the Almond Delights Reading Corner, please email me at almondbrown09@gmail.com. If you would like to send a book to me to read, if you're an author and you give me permission to read, or you just want to send me a book or a gift or whatever you want to send, I have a P.O. Box. It's Almond Brown 09, P.O. Box 1058, Starke, STARKE, Florida 32091. Again, that's P.O. Box 1058, Starke, Florida 32091. And I want to thank everybody that do send cash apps. And y'all know I don't never call y'all name out on here, but I am thanking you guys, and I always send you guys a reply. So I want to thank y'all for for sending your girl a little love offering. So I appreciate that. Well, I ain't gonna say little, Lord knows, because I don't care if it was 99 cents, baby. You took them 99 cents out your pocket when you could have went over and got you something out the dollar menu. If you would have asked them for a penny, you would have been able to get something out the dollar menu at McDonald's. Okay, but you thought about little old me, so I do appreciate you guys for loving on me the way that you do. Shout out to all of my members. Shout out to my armor bearers. Shout out to everyone that comes over here and gives me love when we're here, even when I'm not here catching the replay. So I appreciate everybody. Shout out to the replay gang. Gang. But that's it. That's all. Also, if you guys would like to go and see, check the description box for everything. Okay, the link to my podcast, anchor.fm/AlmondBrown09. Go and check out the description box if you have not downloaded your audible version of His Dream, Her Nightmare, written by Marla Morris. She is one of our Almond Delights over here. She is a member. Um, His Dream, Her Nightmare. There's an audible version, audio version. I'm sorry, via Audible. The link is in the description box. Also, Murder in the Beef Sector. If you guys have not heard of that, that is also written by Mr. Timothy Blaine, which is the author of the book that I am reading now. The link to that audio version is also down below. You can use that link to purchase our books, and we get credit. Okay. So please get your audio version of the books, even if you buy the paperback. Okay. Go ahead and download the audio version. Please and thank you. I appreciate you guys for supporting myself and supporting the authors. For those of you that have purchased the audio version of the books, so I thank you guys so very much. I'll see you guys here on, well, not here, but we'll be over at Polo's on Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if the Lord says so. We'll be on Polo's channel for Around the World with Us. So you guys, please join us there on Saturday. If I'm not gone too long out of town for my son's tournament, we will be back here watching our movies on Twitch, twitch.com/AlmondBrown09. And I apologize for the ones that came on Saturday. And we were so ready to watch that movie, honey. And my internet said, girl, not today. Okay. Twitch was buffering so bad, and it was not buffering on my end via Amazon Prime or StreamYard. It was buffering on Twitch so bad. I was so upset, y'all. Let me tell y'all how upset I was. I ended that live. I ain't say bye. I said bye, but I didn't do my closing. Nothing. I ended that live so fast. I was so mad, and I went straight to sleep. I didn't put my phone on the charger. I ain't do none of that stuff. I was just so mad. It just, ugh. I was so disgusted because I don't like that. Y'all always there. People were there to watch the movie, but y'all understood. So come back this Saturday at 9:00. Also, myself and Shadia, we did a review. If you guys have not watched Young, Famous, and African, we did a review on that yesterday. Please check that video out on my channel. Let me see. Is it here? Do I have it here? Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it here. Ugh, I thought I had it so I can show you guys. Hold on. Hold please. But yeah, so we did a review on Young, Famous, and African. If you guys can go and take a gander, take a look at that and catch up. We are only on, that was episode 1. So tomorrow we're going to be doing episode 2. And it may be around 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night because I do have a late client at 6:45, and I want to be able to get home to get here. But here's the cover. So Young, Famous, and African is what we will be doing the review on tomorrow night. Go back and look at episode 1 before y'all go and check us out for the review for that. So yeah, we'll be trying to do it Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights, maybe late. I don't know because I got to get my hair done. Okay. So that is going to come, baby, because I am tired of sitting up here looking like a whole chia pet. Okay. I got to get my hair done. So we may be here Thursday or it may be Friday night. We shall see. Depends on how long it takes to get my hair done. But yeah, so you guys, that'll be it. That's all for the lineup. I love you guys. Smile at somebody. It'll change their day. It may even change your day, honey, even with a mask on. And they're telling y'all not to wear them no more. But you come around me, you better have a mask on. Okay. Smile at somebody. It'll change their day. It may even change your day, honey, even with a mask on. They can still see it in your eyes. I love you guys with the love of God. And there is what, honey? Nothing you can do about it. And shout out to all the people that sit up there in the quiet stand. I love y'all. The ones that don't ever drop down, but y'all still watching. I love y'all for even supporting me, even in silence, baby. For the ones that normally drop down, but you up there in the sky again. Hola, mi hermosa rosa. If you still up there, honey, okay, don't do me, because I still love you. Even though you be having your little attitude. Bye, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Thank you all for joining another episode of Almond Delights Reading Corner. I pray that you enjoyed yourself and you're relaxing your mind, in your body, and in your spirit. Come back and join us again next week as we continue our reading. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Be blessed and enjoy your evening.